All right, here we go. Oops, it's starting at, next week with this Decoding with Dregz here. And let's see, just like always, just getting started and how to read and decode some of these Thor calls with pretty much as minimal TA as possible is kind of what I like to go about it. Kind of treat these sessions as something where I'm just taking a call on Thor, maybe painting some lines, but really all the TA kind of comes from the call itself and other call interactions, like a short and a long. This one I'm looking at doesn't have that, but generally where we like to do it, because I overcomplicate everything, and I figured sometimes that's just really not needed, especially when you bought this really cool trading mechanism called Thor. But anyways, we're gonna do something that I always kind of like to do is when I open it up, one of the things is kind of checking out the Soul BTC pair. If you have it, it's quite nice. Right now, it's hitting into an active call, kind of a short there, the 0.0023 zone. That looks pretty cool. Just kind of saying, hey, if you have a bunch of Soul, it might be a good time to switch into BTC here and take it down from, what is that? When I did the measurement, it was about like 9% at TV3 and 7 at that, which is pretty cool. But behind it, you have much larger and bullish for Solana calls on the 1 day. Ones that I've been hanging out for. I've been buying these calls to enter around the 0.002 and 18 zone right through there, the bottom, if you can see it. For a couple months now or quite some time. I've just been hanging out waiting for a nice proper flip into the 26 or the 30, primarily the 26, which is going to be looking like we might touch that. So for me, I'm not really touching this because I'm using quite a bit of my sex bag, the good old Central Exchange and Coinbase, using that, but it's only because they have a better liquidity for the pair Soul, BTC. You can say what you want, but hey, it's when it hits a certain number on a chart and it trades for me, that's might be worth that little percent they want to take from me, I guess, for now. Until we get more BTC on Solana. That's kind of where we're at. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish on that. And when most people know, but if you're just hanging out in those calls at the lower end and you wait till it gets to the 0.003 and you switched all your BTC for Solana down here at the bottom, you take the long, or just spot trade and ride it up to 55%, and then you literally have 55% more BTC in the stack, and vice versa. At the bottom there you got 32%, which is kick ass. And it's just something for me that, if you got something like this, it almost beats mining, beats the maintenance for all that kind of stuff. Though everyone has a different path. I like to look at it like that, and almost wish we had more Solana pairs with other kind of things too. But yeah, that's the first step there. That's cool. Still waiting. It's gonna be a long time. Nothing really gonna be going on there. The second thing, if you have Thor Pro, it's pretty fun, but honestly, you could find this on a lot of exchanges, or Trading View will have heat maps and whatnot. So I don't think it's limited to here, but makes it easy having the heat map. And generally, when you're opening up Thor, I like to see, you kind of see an average range of where people, or the kind of zones it's hitting. Just scanning through, it looks like a lot of stuff is 3% down, 5, 6. I like to look at the ones that have a little more substantial deviation from some other numbers. So just sitting here looking at numbers, you could see Soul's up 3%. That's cool. 10% on near, Doge, that's cool. But for me, in looking for longs, I generally try to look for a super low or the lowest red. If you're kind of generally bullish on it, like say Pyth, it's minus 6.55%. That's a little more than the other one. So, go back to the regular Thor. And I just hope there's a call there, which there is. Cool. So look at Pyth. Oh. And then you got a call that's, 15% away. I always just like using this little price. What is this? This quick little price range line. Just to quickly see how far we are. It's a 15-minute call. That's 15% away. It's kind of probably not quick action stuff. And that one day that's down at 0.38. I still have some hopeful spot buys down here if it ever wicks down. Those crazy wicks, especially after some pumps, it could happen. But let's see. Yeah, sitting at this one, I would totally bite onto that. It looks like a perfect little level for Pyth to sink down to if it doesn't just keep up only. Kind of like that one there, and it invalidates at 91, which that's look at that. Let's get these. It's not easy to paint on this chart though. 91. Yeah, so I always like using the invalidation zones, and kind of mentioned that last week too. I think invalidation lines are kind of looked over, but they become something really fun to look at once you start painting them on your chart. You kind of see where there's a top, maybe a really heavy, usually for longs, the invalidation is a really strong, or relatively to your time frame, a resistance zone. And then inversely, shorting, when it has an invalidation zone on the bottom, it's probably a heavy support zone. And so if it breaks that, it's probably not as likely to hit, or it's just going to be doing a different pattern than what Thor saw like 2 days ago. Now the market's shifting and it's going up, so it might hit. It still might hit in that zone, but typically I like to change it, especially if they're lower time frame calls and get invalidated. I'll probably shave it off. But if it's a one-day call and it kind of gets invalidated, I might hang around a little bit though too, or just pump it up a little bit. If you have an entry there and this gets invalidated, I might just pump it up to where just front run it a little bit. Because if we're generally breaking that invalidation for this at 94, which we're close, then it's not unreasonable to try and scoop it up just a little higher. But like with Jupe, I've been chasing it, chasing for another entry. Oh, no calls. But yeah, it from 60 never went to 60. Then there's calls here at like 70, never really, or 66, and never really hit there again, and just kept going. There was a nice one there at the 88 to 91, but it's come and gone. What else have I been up to? Yeah, if there's kind of any questions too along, just kind of checking calls and kind of just dissecting them.
What are we thinking about cock?
Oh damn, that's funny. It's hiding up here. Had that cock ready there.
Yo.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She looks good.
Good, man.
Yeah, I mean, to something like that, I guess I'm taking heed on the shit coining.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when there's some hype behind it, or you got nothing with all the coins. You kind of just see where the heavy percentages are being held, and for me, I put a bunch of small amounts, like relatively small, instead of going all in on one. I kind of spread myself out with shit coining. And then once
Yeah.
it makes me 100% on it, I take the principal out. So that's
Yep.
pretty much
That's what
my
I do
thing.
too.
Yep. I'm a typical Jeter, especially if you get like 40% or 100%. I'm like, that's cool with me, man.
Yeah.
I've seen it come and go too, though. Like just right here, you could be up like 150%. Then you waited too long, and now you're
Yep.
back down to where you.
Or just rugs and goes to zero.
Yeah,
You know.
dude. Yeah, rugs happen. Was that Drim? Like even something was talking about. What is that? It's probably.
Keep saying this
back
stuff,
then.
so I'm incentivized to go sell my shit coins that are pumped out the ass right now.
Right.
The name of
Look at
the
that.
name of game on shitcoins is to take out your principal, like you said. If you can
Exactly.
get your principal
These
out,
are all
then you're good.
eardrops for me. So
Oh yeah,
luckily,
then fuck, you're good, dude.
I'm just riding
Exactly.
for free.
It's
But,
free
Dude,
fucking money, dude.
Free it. Yeah.
but it could be free. It could be into Soul by now and
Yeah.
into AutoThor or something. So I'm just trying to think, what's the right time.
Yeah, I mean, once
So
it
these are-
reaches a certain level, it's like,
Coffee.
okay, if it hits $100 my airdrop, I'm gonna take $30 out, and then you got $30 or half, and then just let the rest ride.
Yeah, I was.
True.
Yeah, and that my viewpoint is the likelihood that you are going to catch that 1000x is unlikely unless you're in some weird kind of influencer group that's
Cabal.
because
Yeah.
the cabal that's either started it or some friend started it, and they're all hyping each other
I'm
up.
happy with 100%, man, or
Yeah.
plus 50%. Like, phew,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
No, it is, especially with how quick these are. But you could generally, it's all kind of psychology too. You have to think everyone's doing the same thing you are. And as soon as they're not, the trend is your friend till the end. If things are going cool and they're resting on a higher low there too, that's always really nice. So you could see
Kind of why I'd rather sell early.
Going
And so,
up.
because like you said, everyone once the herd mentality kicks in, then
Yeah.
you're caught quick.
'Cause
Whereas
it-
if you just
You
are
get
happy,
caught with your cock out, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
for this, I think it kind of looks a little top heavy, like, hey, what would that's a 4 hour. Okay, let's be real. We're not looking at a 4
yeah, I'm on
hour.
like the fucking 15-minute, bro.
I was like, that looks, little, shit. Let's flip this around.
It keeps on the 15 minutes making the higher lows, though, so I don't know.
Then so it gets a little top heavy and you're like, oh, that's cool, but when I have to always whip this thing out and go, oh, it's likely this thing just goes back down to here at 30, just sell everything or whatever, you get 30% and you could stack your bags still. I've seen it like things just go back up and down so many times and just like, oh, I've missed out on that. But so even that, 10% more, or just kind of compounding those bags if you're bullish on it, of course. But for me, it looks like it could go down to like that too, little top. And some of them just seem so, everything's a little too perfect. Sometimes the patterns are just so nice and people are just painting charts. So if you can guess their painting, then yeah, you're on it. But most of the time, this stuff is just some influencer says something's under 500,000 FDMC, and I see this going to 1 million, and that's get your 2x in, and you just ride that. But there's no true mentality besides being mental with shitcoins. So
I got this drop from Galactic Geckos. It's called Moo, and it's up to like $100 for just the airdrop for one gecko. And as you're talking, I'm kind of scrolling the timeline here just a second, and don't I run across a tweet that's basically, Moo is the safest bet at the minute. 1 billion is imminent, my friend. Accumulate.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like, God
Pump
damn it,
your
fucker.
fucking bags.
Yes.
Like, in here we're so sensible, but the timeline is just full of absolute
It's
redaction.
full of emotion and full of, like, motives.
It's fun.
You know?
But, 36, and there's 40,000 people holding it, and 36. So yeah, I mean that's pretty.
Is that 136?
No, it's a 36 million. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then you got
Yeah,
39.
Cox 2 million. Ah!
Yeah. So that's kind of funny how those things work there. Yeah, there's no telling. It could just go right down and be 75% down, or it could just shoot up again. Go to 50, whatever.
The fact is, I'm up $100 for free if I sell right now.
Yeah, it's cool.
Just take half out, dude. Take half out, or take a third out.
You take a third or half. I always pay myself, so it's weird. I guess with these, say I put in like it's a humble $50 and it goes up to 75, or I feel like there's a bum rush where it shoots up, and yeah, sure, I'm cutting myself up from the dream 100x or something, but it really feels good to kind of pay yourself out of these things too. It's just like, it's just like slowly take your principal out. Like, I put in 50, it shot up to 80, so I'll take out 30, and then I'll let it pump a little more, and then dance around it. But I definitely have felt better walking away with paying myself and then doing something else with it. I don't know. It's just a different thing. But if I'm early and if it's like, which one am I? Okay, which stupid one did I do? It's like DAP. And this is probably stupid, but whatever. So it's a 81,000 FDMC. And so this is, what is it, on the 7th, so it's out for a week. But yeah, I don't know, some little weird thing like that. I see that's okay for $50 for me, because in that regard, if that goes up to $1 million, that's cool. Cool. We'll run it. But otherwise, I won't be heartbroken, because this was probably what I did was I made $50 from another shit coin, so I took this $50 and put it into this one, and then you just keep that real growing and you compound it, but you lose it too. Some things go to 40. It's not like they're all winners. So
are you betting on these shit coins based on market cap only, or is
that's
like, was that your primary metric?
It's like a one metric that I've been seeing, and it's because a lot of other people use that as a metric too.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, it was really never that, it's an idea, but in crypto, I never really, there's certain levels where I didn't really care, but I guess in the shit coining, everyone's just so fixated on the market cap. Yeah. And so if everyone's fixated on it, then if that's the game they want to play, then yeah, I'll take notice to that and play off of that mostly. If something looks super burnt out, I mean, it's like almost basic patterns is what you see on those charts too. Like, you get like those double tops right there, or you just see things that, like, the basic little patterns, they seem to really work out for these shit coins, because I think it's just the basic as basic as you can get sometimes, unless someone rugs you. So yeah, if they have a thing, and I guess if they're memeing, and honestly, sometimes I just try to find myself into these little big influencer subscriber groups, and I'll just lurk and watch for when they call things, and if it's really quick, I'll take a look at it, and if it's not popped off yet, like, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, join this thing, and it's about 500% up on the 24-hour, and 8 hours sitting at like 1,000 or something. You're like, Jesus, yeah, no. I doubt it's really gonna be pumping more. So that's a thing too. If it's down and it looks good, then I'll take it. But they're all gambles. It's just, it's a slot machine. That's how I look at it. So that's just the shit coining part there. Oh,
and you get paid in COP. So let's go.
Yeah, and you got something like shit like that. I'm like, damn. But yeah.
I got a drop of that moo too. I saw it at first at like, it was like $5-6 or something. Figure it was just another one of those that are just gonna dwindle out. Whatever. I ride these things when they're that low, and every time I looked at it, it was another $20 up.
So
but
go.
I think it's from my stoned ape, and just alpha for you guys if you don't know already. They get like every single the amount of drops that they qualify for. I don't know if they're hunting these things or they're just getting respect as an OG community, but they get like everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a mixture of both for them.
Yeah,
like, they are OG as fuck, and they probably have people who are looking for that too.
Yeah, that's definitely sounds about right.
One of the best airdrops I've gotten so far, for sure, in terms of value. It's pretty nice. $100.
Yeah, I held things too long, sometimes, but hey, it's all right.
Well, then you
It's
got
free
things
money.
that come along like bonk, and then if you had held, you don't even want to know how much it's worth, what you get.
Nope, I have my Doge story, so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Dregz, what do you think of cat with hat?
Cat with hat. Oh, is that?
That's the one that passed bonk in market cap.
Since we're shitcoining here.
Yeah, I guess we're in the shit.
We're in the shit.
It's bull market, bro. We're fucking sending.
Yeah, dude, it's bull market. Let's fucking go. See with, yeah, it's always when I see these too. This always looks like there's another one. Oh, which one looked like this?
Choppy.
So
Candles.
choppy. It's choppy channels. It's like this looks like a bunch of robots are trading it to me. Sometimes when that happens, it's like a. What is it?
Yeah, I'm just wondering when a good time to dump my airdrop of it is. If it's never gonna be like what Whiff did, then
good.
I'll just get rid of it.
Yeah, the 50. Damn, you're right. C-Whiff. How the. Damn, I guess they did get a lot of. I haven't been paying attention to that, but that's a big old chunk of change they got there. C-Whiff. I guess it. Yeah, then it burns. I think they have like a token 2022.
Yes.
Yeah, I see that. Like they have a 4% burn or something. I forgot what happens every transaction.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
4% burn. Yeah.
Yeah, Dregz, what are we thinking of cock? What do you like?
My
Fuck
man.
with cock? You fuck
Oh,
with
I'm
cock?
fucking with cock heavy.
I got some cock. I kind of was a buyer there.
We're looking primed.
Oh my god, I fumbled my bag, dude. I sold. Oh my
We are
God.
looking primed to send.
Yeah, she's going. Yeah, and damn. I mean, for me, I think the psychological numbers ends up being like it's like 500,000 market cap, 1 million, 2 million, and then like 5 million. So
5 million, 10 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of my personal price targets too. Sometimes it's more correlated to this, just because I feel like everyone else is doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, they definitely are.
it's kind of so it's kind of like little rules I like to maybe adhere to. So when things get crazy, I have some kind of plan. Because this, I don't have any concrete plans besides. This looks like a good place to buy. It just don't.
Besides, hold on to your cock. We're about to pump. That's the strat.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, it looks good. When I buy it here, because I did, I bought it at like the 1. I got the airdrop, cool, missed that, and it went up, and was watching it, but then I watched it bounce up, didn't get up there, bounced off that zone again, and then kind of went up a little bit too. So I was kind of running around here, maybe it was like 12 or something where I joined. But it goes up, down, up, down. Would I buy it here? I probably wouldn't buy it here because either it's going to go down a little bit, like 30% again, or it could just keep going up and then do the same thing. Just keep this pattern. But
So it's a coin flip, basically.
Yes, it's a money printer. Don't hold it.
What would I say? Yeah, so around this zone, if I get, if I get my 100%, I'll just shave it off and let it ride. And then if it gets another $50 or something like that, say it's my principal, and I repeat that principal, I'll take it out again or smaller amounts, and then I'll use that money for something else. And that's something that you save yourself from opportunity cost too, or you get yourself wrecked, jump into the next shitcoin, but just depends on what you do. I like to be that guy when they always say, oh, the people are sucking liquidity out of this area and putting it there. It's kind of my goal with the shitcoins and all this other stuff is to extract, with my little power I can, to extract some liquidity and then put it back into, like, say, Cura pools, or going back into, somehow the frogs, or just buying Cura and whatnot. But that's kind of like what I like to do, kind of put it into bags, or when I make something, I'll put it into like JLP, go from shitcoin into JLP or Jupiter or Pyth or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like a more concrete bag. And that's kind
There's a reason,
Yeah, exactly. And then I go, okay, so it went up, take $50, and I'll go open up Thor and might put a limit buy for, a long call that it has on the coin that I just want to stack and just get a fat number of, because I like it. That's kind of what I do with the shit coins. But damn, Can't tell you either. I wouldn't buy cock here.
Do not buy cock here.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it here.
Wait for a dump, yeah?
Yeah, I'd either wait for that 30%.
It can either dump or
50.
send.
Yeah, exactly. Dump or send here, but this is where you either can shave a little off for profit if you bought, or let it rip. But yeah, I'd be cautious there. Just
when those pussies paper hand their cock, that's when you want to go in.
yes. So that's
I just swapped all my CWIF for some Solana boys. So thank you for the encouragement to just kind of bite the bullet. Now we're reloaded and we can do something else.
Yeah, that one too. I don't see. I mean, it could, whatever, but it go to 1 billion.
It could, but whatever.
And then if it went
to 1 billion, but you don't go broke taking profit.
If it did go,
I know where Soul's going.
Yeah, it's like what how big is your bag? If it like doubled, I guess that's the question too. But for me,
if it doubled, I'd be to $100, which is nothing. So
exactly, that's my big thing too. It's like, I'm gonna wait. Risk. I'm gonna wait all this time for like $50. But if it was like there's a fat bag, maybe
I'd rather have more pith or Jupe or Bitcoin or
exactly. And then what's cool is I like it because then you're using money that or funds that Thor has calls for, and then you're able to kind of use it with Thor, and then I could kind of take my crazy gamble money and then put it into something that has puts you on the winning side of the risk there, generally, especially if you're spot buying. Yeah, especially
dirty Dregz.
Yeah, you gotta optimize efficiency, get that money working. I had to make because I didn't start with this thing with a lot of money. I just definitely was pretty humble and figured out how $10 can work for you or something.
This render thing slaps pretty hard, eh?
Yeah, it's a
grinder.
Kind of the Rinder. Fuck.
That was trippy.
That was. I was like, who that? Damn, no, but
it's you and an AI, bro.
Fucking hell.
You made a Dregz.
I was hungry for grinders, not the app.
Rinder, cock, it's all starting to make sense.
Yeah, I mean, dude, just if you're trying to make genital wealth, just hold on to your cock.
Damn right. Genital wealth.
This thing does pretty good. I see Siles always fucking writing these I'm gonna screw it up. Render calls.
Yeah, render.
Yeah, the render calls, and that's been another one that's obviously been fun. Again, another one that we've been trying to Thor's always had little low calls for entries that it never hit because it just kept going, and then here it kind of just started banding, little range bounding, and that's when I set up. You see these little orange lines here. I think earlier, I may have somewhere else. I think the calls are gone because things change, but it had a call around like an entry around the 1060 and then 1030. Didn't hit any of those. Just get rid of this thing here. It didn't hit any of those. Just kind of touched that one call. It's not even on here anymore. Dang. Shot up, which is awesome. Definitely looking at that new short at the 1 hour, which would be, was it 1250? Oops. That's a good little zone. I think the other one that I had, another TP for my bag, is around 14.2. There was a call for that up there, and I believe it's invalidated, whatever call that came up a bit ago, but I believe that it has a capacity to reach 14 on render. I see Thor mentioned it invalidated, but I'm leaving that as like the larger bag goal, and then I have 25% of my bag probably getting sold at the 12. Will be if it hits at the 1250. I say probably because if things change, then I'll obviously have to pivot and I'll try to sell my bag lower. If more lower calls are popping up here on like the lower time frames, I'll start biting into it and deleveraging. So far in this trade, I took other calls that were at 1130 or was it even 1090? I think bit at like 1230 and then some hit at 1090. So then my average entry is like 11 24, like 0.8 leverage in, so I'm not fully leveraged into this trade. If it did, I had buys at 1060 that would leverage me in, and then some at the bottom there too. But it looks like it just hit that top call and reversed itself up, which is great. I also did, this is where it kind of pivots into that other conversation with these orange lines. These orange lines are my range for the DLMM pool on Meteora. They just kind of were shouting render out for getting into those pools, and I'm all down for that, especially when it's something I'm already bullish on. I'm already mid trade, so I had some cash sitting around on Camino, but the APY is so lame. I make like a couple bucks in a week off a little bit, and it's just too slow for me, and so I don't really care about Camino points. It's cool, but I find myself would be using Meteora in general, even if they didn't give points right now. But hey, they do, so we're gonna run it. The range is developed because there was a low call earlier at 10:20, and there was that high call at the short at the 1 day. They both are invalid now, but I feel like Thor sought a nice range, so I put those as the range. And if we go to, what is that, Meteora, let's see here, it would be, I don't know if I could spell render. Computers.
Bro, Soul just went like berserk from that huge flash crash there a minute ago, like an hour ago.
Oh damn, it's right. Yeah, things are.
That is a mad leverage trade right there that I just missed. Oh
damn. There's always another
that's
one.
huge.
Let's see.
Yeah, there is. It's been happening every couple of days. Some juicy drops and then a big
There's
spike
always
back up.
another trade.
Let's see. So is that for me too? Just kind of, I've always seen people kind of interested in pools too, and so it's kind of a good example of how maybe I incorporated I'm just gonna look here for the actual. Damn it. Just trying to get, I should watch list those. It's a great function, watch listing, instead of trying to go back to everything here. Okay, there's the call. So yeah, it was at 10:24, then like $14 on a certain time frame there. It just looked good to me, so I took it. It was a nice range, and it looked nice, so I went ahead and took those levels. And when you have a certain amount of bins, you don't get to choose them. I guess I'll back it up even more if I'm trying to teach. So it comes out, yay, I'm down with render, and I want to get into the pool. So there's lots of liquidity, or a lot of volume going on, and the pool itself is making, on average 1% a day. That's cool, 1% a day, for not really doing much on something I'm bullish on. That's cool. You just kind of click that one, and again, I make sure there was enough like volume, and that's just really what you're looking for here. It's volume trades, not not the total lock doesn't matter, but if it's crushing it, then that really helps. There's more to it, but again, I stick to USDC. It's the less intense version, or less. It's more easy to get involved into these, and less attention's needed. So you click it, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But if you want to enter, $100 or these things, it kind of, you want to have not your just $50 being entered in, because you're not really 1% of that isn't really that much. So it's not really worth my time. I'd rather do the shit coining with $50. It's a little more fun if you just had that $50. But I like to at least start with the 1,000 or something like that if you have that, or you don't have to. But for that example is what I did. Just started out to check it out. And then again, those calls, if the bin allowed me to have the range where it had a top value, and so I'll just set that bin range down a little bit because I don't need that 1477. I want to consolidate more of the trades in here, and basically all you're doing is supplying. In this zone, I'm supplying render to be sold for people, and I get a fee for that. And down here, I'm supplying USDC to buy render with. That's cool. And again, I don't think the range is going to go down that far because Thor said, hey, I think it's going to bounce off of that lower range. So obviously now I would do it differently setting it up, but how I approached it at that time with the information was sitting at that 1015 or whatnot, and then go to 1386. And the tighter you make this, the more you're going to have to, sure it's more concentrated, but if it doesn't stay in that range, you're going to have to buy back your render, you're going to buy back your USDC to rebalance the pool. So that's just, I don't like I said, I like easy money, like stuff I don't have to maintain as much. So I'll give it a reasonable distance there, and you could enter it in, and it's just gonna go ahead and you're gonna supply assets for other people to trade, and then you get a dynamic pool fee from 0.25% to 10%, just ranging on that. It just helps the pool with the lower fee will help it get more volume, because if the fee's too high, no one's gonna trade using that amount. That just kind of cool that it's dynamic, so it could kind of, they have something under the hood going on where it kind of picks the best the optimized fee, but also getting the trade too. And besides that, it's just concentrated liquidity rather than a big pool. That's what DLMMs do. And yeah, that's kind of what I do there. If you see spot, curve, and bid and ask, basically I do spot because it's pretty even. If you think it's going to be range bound, you could concentrate that liquidity up here into a curve, or if it's super volatile, you can just let it hit those higher points where it'll trade more when it gets lower or bands up higher. But spot is generally just fine. One other thing I always like to mention too is that you don't have to do both sides. You could turn off the autofill. You could do a one-sided pool where maybe you want to just hit the lower range of that. So okay, I think maybe I'm not as bullish on it, but if you want to catch it down a little bit, and that's cool too, you could just use USDC to buy render, and then when it goes back up, it'll sell. So once it goes back up and down, you can play with that with how you will, or on the other side, you can do just Rinder. You can just use the Rinder and maybe sell it off as it goes up, or back down. But personally, if you had a TP somewhere, maybe not your whole bag, but something you were going to DCA out of, maybe you could put in just the render there, and then it will sell as it goes up to 1380 and then back down. But at this point, you could this is just me collecting the Meteora points. And then they have some render that you also can drop.
Grindr sounds like a real sketchy dating app.
It does. Yeah, sounds pretty edgy. It'd probably be successful with whatever it does.
For sure.
I'm in tears right now, man. I'm dying. You're struggling so hard where you're doing this in like full speech in real time. It's great.
Yeah.
It's the easiest trading app there is. All you got to do is swipe right and you're done.
Yeah, easy peasy, man.
Or if I see a cock, I swipe right, I don't know, I want this genital wealth.
Damn right. Then,
sounds like you could find some genital problems on Grindr.
Just lost my whole bag. Let's see. And okay, to continue that a bit too, would be the Sol BTC. I kind of found a DLMM pool for that, and it doesn't make sense here, so you just click the Sol button, boom, and then I was kind of into this. I haven't really dove into trading the ranges, but that seems pretty fun to me. Supplying some WBTC and Sol, using the ranges found on the Sol BTC on Thor. That could be kind of fun if something's range bound. And the pool makes an average 2.2% a day, which is nice. But yeah, just that's enough of the pools. Let's see. And that's a good old render. Yeah, let's see. See if there's anything else anyone's trading or wants to look at too, of course.
I was just dying today, like sitting at work thinking about, like, I just have my phone like blowing up because it's bull market. I just looked down. I'm like, what if a coworker just saw us, like, how many people are asking me about cock? It's like, yeah, this space is legitimate, but yeah, we're buying a bunch of cocks.
You know, someone's got to do it.
Yo, you ain't lying. I sometimes gotta, while I'm scrolling through like the timeline feed on X, fucking my coworker who like sits beside me, I heard that she'll like look at my phone sometimes, and I gotta like make sure no fucking cock is.
You're just seeing a flying chicken on the picture, like. What the fuck is this guy looking at? Well, I'm making money off a cock, you know?
Yeah.
Yo, can we look at Kira? And are you on the team, Dregz? Or if you're not, can you speculate as to what greatness awaits Kira?
I could probably speculate more because I'm not on the team.
Yes, well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, exactly. So
if you are, I would not.
We're
ask
free.
that of you.
Yes, I'm bound.
Can't control
Give me
me.
your tinfoil hat. Your
I didn't sign
tinfoil
no
hat.
contract.
Everybody got your tinfoil ready? Or?
And I haven't even I didn't sign nothing. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's go back.
We
should
Alex
speculate
Jones.
on what we think is gonna happen.
Soundboard
Let's
now.
go.
Hey, but we should speculate because I feel like they've given us a lot of hints that we can kind of like all get ideas of where it's going.
Oh yeah, no.
Let's get our cocks out and
What's going
speculate,
on?
boys.
Wait, your guys' cocks weren't already out? Fuck.
I've been holding it tight this whole time.
My man.
Don't let it go. All right, let's see. Oh damn. I mean, it's another kind of easy one, I'd say.
To buy
Just that
some.
line. I was gonna make a line, but it's already kind of hanging out on its own damn resistance there. It's just hanging out. It doesn't even when that. Let's see. It's doing the day. So let's see. Yeah, on the day they said, "Hey guys, everyone gets their cure right now." Just dumped, and then it bounced off of probably Musa's fucking buys down there, and just shot it back up.
Right.
Everyone just eating it up. Yeah, no, even for me, I was kind of concerned when I opened it up and it was 0.005, but actually it was super super bullish when it's just stuck around where it always kind of has.
I was upset, bro. I missed the fucking drop. I was watching it, and then I like refreshed, and it was fucking eaten. I was like, "Are you kidding?"
Oh man,
Fuck.
I was bugging. I was like, I was sitting at work.
Yeah.
Damn. Like I always got
Like, what an opportunity.
Yeah, they always drop stuff when you're at work.
The second I saw the update about Kira, I was like, that's gonna dump. And I went and just looked, and I was like, yep, someone's dumping it. It's like, I'm about to pick it up, and by the time I turned around, it was already back up where the candle ended.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck!
Hey, I guess it could be worse, but I'll take that. Yeah, this Kira. So, yeah, I guess this good old speculation. They quit emissions, so there's no more emissions, and I think it's kind of been gained that you just don't want to be a security-like thing, project, so I'm sure that helps with some legalities. If he's going to change the let's see, if you're going to change the tokenomics of it,
Yeah.
I think
they removed the fee, the $5 Kira fee, which was pretty much the only thing tied to the protocol that was creating a demand for Kira, which leads me to like speculate that they're gonna integrate it to something else.
Yeah. Other than the faction missions, which are ending,
Yeah, let's see, where is it? You said, what was it that you just said? Yeah, okay. you go back. So yeah, the deposit fees. Honestly, I wasn't the most crazy about the deposit fees there. Let's see if they have. Oh, I thought they had like must have taken off that detail.
I was really surprised they took the deposit fee off for Kira, but they want
I
more
was
people
too,
depositing,
but
I guess.
exactly, they're removing the friction behind wanting to start a contract.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think it was really too much. Like, I was trying to find
Not
out how
insane
many.
demand.
Yeah, I was trying to see
I
how
never
many
heard anyone
contracts there
complain.
were.
Yeah, because it's a utility, but it's not an insane utility that drives insane demand to the token. You know, so it's people trust this team. That's why they're like, trust me, bro. Okay, sure, bet.
Yeah, no, and I don't think it really created that much demand either. Like, it was cool, and I think it added to some stuff, but I don't think that alone was the bull case for Kira. And if it was, leash, I got rubbed. But
Yeah,
but I doubt that, you know, obviously. So
for sure.
I think, like, I always kind of shout out, you know, if it's going to be marketed to Web 2 folks, you're not going to be selling the NFTs as much. So definitely that's where if they're going to sell these services to people, then I think that is going to be what a lot of that Kira gets burned from, is maybe some of the subscriptions or some kind of some weird vaulting program. Maybe you have to put up a certain amount of Kira to create a vault, and then, you know, you could have it trade that certain coin that's specific to what you were looking for, or maybe a set of choices from the team that believes it has enough liquidity to do that on Solana 2. That's kind of my first thing, is that what I would do to, like, what you have to do something that's gonna actually get people to buy or burn something, and, you know, that's one of the bigger things. I don't think the subscription alone would be enough either. So there's something else. But yeah, no, it's definitely a bull case for me. And you've kind of probably heard me shouting it out before. I don't want to really be that guy just gatekeeping, but that Kira, what is it? I just want to be that guy who's like, hey, you know, we started something fun, and the more people that do it, the better liquidity. But, you know, at the same time, you know, this pool is like the little 4% pool that was set up.
What's the point to doing something like this as for a complete noob?
Yeah, okay, the point to doing something like that. All right, so we're kind of looking at this chart, and we're having this conversation, you know, setting up, hey, what's Kira doing? It's kind of been range bound forever. You know, it's not, you know, it goes up, but it comes back down. It's been days, it's been weeks. You can even do the week chart here. It's going to take forever, but yeah, it's weeks. And you could see, I think, do it again here. Just kind of generally, if you want to say 30, it's even high, but even this low is like the 5. So generally haven't really gone past the 0.005, and generally doesn't like to really go past, you know, when it hits 30 or the 25, it's always been going low, and that's a month, 2 month, 3 month, and it shot up. Even if it goes out of the range here for me, it's a it's a full range pool. So even if it went up to that, like the, you know, 0.0, like 5 cents, or went up to 8 cents, you know, you still had funds in the pool that were generating. People buy and sell. The slippage is crazy. But why would you do that? For someone who doesn't know, it's because emissions are gone, and now there's no way for you to make more Kira unless you're trading up and down. You obviously don't have, like, if I want to trade with size on this, it's going to put me down. It's going to put it down a little bit. Let's see. Oh, that's 1,000. Sorry. We do size, like 1,000. You're gonna put it down by 6%. If I want to do 100,000, you know, a bigger trade, you're not even getting the right amount for it. so you can't really trade it too much. You can buy it on its lows. So I always like when it goes down to lower numbers, I buy that. But the point is that might be too complicated and too odd. So if you just put your money into here, it basically generates, at this pool so far has generated, since it's been curated, 32% additional capital that's been reinserted into the pool. So if you started with 1,000, you're now up like 3,000. Like was that 320. But that's reinserted in the pool. That could be funds, not just dollar, but also Kira value. So it's kind of split in between. This pool has facilitated 1,700 volume, very little. It's not that much to get people crazy about it, but that's because it's a 4% pool. But the idea is that it did 4%, which is 4 times higher than which I'll pull up now, the Orca pool. The Orca pool is sitting at 1%, and just
you're getting paid 4% to provide.
Yeah,
LP.
of the volume, exactly. So, yeah, I think me and someone else kind of tracking the pool, but I think myself and someone else had thrown some in there, so it's split. It's not just me, but it would be like, hey, there's $68, and then if I own like 75% of the pool, 75% of that goes into my liquidity pool tokens, and then so now you get tokens, and then you redeem those tokens for the pair. It's not too complicated. You just withdraw. You're given tokens, like USDC and Kira, and you can just claim those back. And usually, if you've been in the pool for a little bit, it'll be a higher value than when you had entered. That's the point.
So it's not a lot, but because nobody's really doing it, there's some. It's better than doing nothing.
Exactly. But I guess the bullish case is if more people added liquidity, then it becomes easier to trade higher amounts of Kira. And that
impact to price won't go
exactly. And then that's when you got people. Now you could spend, you could spend $1,000. Get those guys with bigger bags coming in.
The whales.
Yeah, and then they go, okay, man, I buy $1,000 of Kira. I'm gonna pump this up 16%. And it's like, hey, that's only gonna work so much. But if you had more liquidity, then more people would probably trade it, which kind of one thing leads to another. Though we're at like the humble beginnings and a slow start. But to kind of go further, so this pool has done been comparing.
Can you lose your Kira in this pool? Like it?
Yeah, you can.
You can come out with less Kira than you put in, right? Like a LP traditionally.
Yes. If I waited and this thing goes up to 10 cents, I probably have like 80% less, Kira holdings, but a whole bunch more, USDC. So for me, I don't, put everything I have in there. I've accumulated Kira, and the Kira I accumulated a certain way. From trading and stuff, I just put into the pool to provide liquidity. Kind of what I was saying about shitcoining, is taking that out, using that. Then now the Kira's earning Kira, because right now people are just dumping it. So now you're collecting Kira from fees. And I'm not selling USDC, and I've only been up Kira because of how people don't have patience and they're down to dump it. And then this pool here is 1% fee pool. It's like does 5,100 volume in 24 hours. It's cool. It gets you up 1% a day on the 24-hour, which is cool. It doesn't always happen. It's usually about 0.3 or 0.2% on average, so it's nothing too crazy. But it did 5,000 of volume and 51 in fees. This pool is 4%, but because there's more value locked, or kind of near the same, it's doing 1,000 instead of 5,000, but it's generating like 10 or 11, like 19 more dollars. So that's pretty cool. So it's doing 5 times, or much less the volume of Orca, but it's generating more fees. And that's what you want to do, is volume and fees. And that's, again,
nice.
What pretty cool.
Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah, no problem. And just
I'm about to toss some of my bag in there. Contribute to the mission.
Stimulus plan, cool. And then I don't know if I kind of shared it, but the big thing too was the kind of their point system they have here. It's like 1 point per dollar of total value locked. So that's, if you have $1,000 in a pool, it's earning 1,000 points a day. If it's for every dollar fee you earn, it's another 1,000 points. So they're just trying to drive you to get those fees. So that would be like 6,800 points split up amongst the pool. And then you got the multipliers or whatever. Kind of, I think we're in March, so it's 1.2, and then it dwindles down for a little bit. But hey,
and there's no single-sided pools for this, like
No.
the DLM pools, right? It's just you have to provide both.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. I'm on there right now, but
yeah, I think you're gonna have to put up the both sides just because you're just matching the pool.
let's see how much you just pumped the TVL here.
Yeah.
We're at 4.6K. Let's see if we can break 5.
Yeah, hell yeah, no. But if the idea too is the strategy would be, this pool will be the best pool as long as it has more total value locked than the 1% pool. Once the 1% pool, if that just got like 20,000, someone just inputted like the team just goes, hey, we're gonna provide liquidity. Here's 50,000 in the 1% pool. Well, shit, this pool is gonna stop doing as well. So in this moment in time, if this pool is the winner on TVL and has a higher percent, honestly, I was thinking at first, it's like, 1% because people trading Kira, they're just dumping it. So I was like, hey, let's make a 4% and charge the dumpers because. Yeah, fuck it, right? So that's the kind of the idea behind that. And yeah, you could lose some, but it's a full range, so it's gonna take quite a bit for you to lose that Kira. But don't put in Kira; you'll be heartbroken to lose. But again, you wouldn't be losing it; it would be sold, so you have capital. So it kind of goes back and forth. It's not a total loss, but yeah, you're just selling up along the way.
Right on.
Yeah.
Just tossed $100 in, and we'll watch it and maybe add more as I go.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate the explanation, man.
No problem. Yeah, and I feel like generally for the community too, it could be just pretty nice to have some liquidity and people start loading
It's needed,
up.
right? It's definitely needed.
It's
so.
needed, yeah, and it's just kind of that idea I was mentioned before. Why people don't trade it as much is just because of the slippage, and there's just not enough liquidity for the amount that's going on to provide that less slippage.
I'm sure Yusuf could have told us all of that. We didn't need you.
Yeah, I know. Damn it.
Hopefully you got that joke. And fucking Yusuf, I don't know if you saw all his shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that one.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Oh man, yeah, it's great. But I do agree. I'm down with the burning. We can burn another. Ooh, it's going down. I'd like to see 4 billion gone at least. That'd be great. And I'm sure shit will really start going. But honestly, that's another speculative thing. Is Kira is no longer in emissions. People that have it will either have been accumulating at these zones. So this is the only place people have been able to enter is either 0.005 or 0.01. So we're already there. It's where everyone's loaded up. They're not getting more Kira to dump unless they're just done. But hopefully the pools take care of catching some of those lowers. So, and then people sweep once it gets to a nice price. But no, that's the bullish cases. The team seems pretty set on burning Kira. So that seems pretty bullish, especially with the new things they're going to come out with. Because I know that Andy was talking a whole bunch about how this is the year of Kira, how he's going to be really focused on that, and things change of course and pivots, but I think we're going to see something pretty cool in April, hopefully, with some Kira. But who knows? NFA, if we're buying shit coins, we could buy some Kira.
What we need to do is make a shit ton of X-Alt accounts and retweet, like, and comment on Andy's tweet there and get a shit ton burned.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, I almost got.
We'll all just go out and bot the fuck out of his tweet, and it's like 100,000 likes.
Down, yeah, almost did a little tomb raid On that, that last one. Just get
It's like literally strategically, like, if I pay some money, like I could make more, and we're just.
It's the name of the game. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be more fun burn events coming too. But let's see what's going on. Yeah, I've been using Drift. I wish I had some other choices, but actually that was kind of I think I already mentioned too earlier how I had to front run a bit of Drift. So like you can see how on Drift it only got down to 1080 for render, but it got I'm not gonna pull up the chart, but it got to 1060 or lower on the other one. So it's kind of a bummer sometimes when you have to really guess some zones. So that's why I try to bite on the way down. It's just a little technique there, which wish I didn't have to use, but also kind of digging that one too. I was digging around while chatting to the Arboretum.
Little arb on arb.
Yeah. That one looks pretty fun too. I'd probably do that if it came through, especially since it's on the 4 hour. You got some fun 1 days hanging out, just looming. Yeah, I don't know.
That's like Soul. Does Soul have any of the 1 days, or did they all get invalidated?
I think there's nothing on Soul right now. It's just
I mean, it's fucking going right now.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I can't even. I'm just glad Thor is taking care of.
Look at that! Look at that dump and eating.
Damn.
We are sending. We are
That's the one
going
I was
to all
talking
time
about.
high, bro.
It just went down like $10 in like half an hour, and then right back up. It's like
there is
stupid.
so
Look
much
at that.
fucking strength, bro.
Bro.
It's insane.
Beautiful.
Yeah, look at Thor, man.
Dude, I'm just saying.
Hang it in the loop.
Oh man, we got.
Oh man, Thor fucking sucks. I hate it, bro. I hate it here. Floor your frogs.
Just hold your soul.
Can't
man.
even
Just
fucking-
hold your soul. Just stake it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, in the past,
It
what is that?
performs.
4 hour chart. Yeah, we're stuck in the 4 hour.
That's fucking beautiful.
And I was at work, bro. I was at work.
Dude. That's that shit. Oh man.
Bullshitting with the homies in voice chat,
Yeah.
speculating on Kira while auto
Speculate on some cock while it's
Yeah.
actually doing good
Yeah,
trades.
exactly.
While I'm losing it,
Damn right, dude. But yeah, that's
Once I sell that coin, I cannot participate in such vulgar language.
yeah, exactly. But if you
You can because you're part of it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're holding it, you can. It's all you, man.
Just hold on to your cock, man. It's gonna be fine.
With both hands. Let's go, boys.
Damn right. Let's see. Yeah, damn. That's yeah. I
That's
wouldn't have
crazy.
done that. I'll be honest. I wouldn't.
Oh, I would not have done that if it was me.
Nope.
Fuck.
Damn. That's good though.
What's Bitcoin looking like?
Let's see. Bitcoin. Ah, damn. They all.
There's nothing.
I see. I've been forsaken. That's why. Sometimes these are cool, but damn, man. Oh, no, it's invalidated. Getting faked out.
Yeah.
Son of a. Yeah, but that's when we look at that. That's why I like Soul BTC.
True.
Oh damn, that got invalidated too. There was
we're sending, bro.
we were looking at that little short there, and yeah, exactly.
We are fucking
How
sending.
useful will Thor be in a full-on like bull market like this in terms of quickly calling levels when things rip?
I've noticed
Is it better once things settle in a little bit, or
well, yeah. So when an event happens, a dump or a spike, and it's still obviously we've been what's this 6-7 days of this call being out. There's been a lot, so I always keep looking, and that's why I really like these zones, is that it's been calling these, and that's why I always kind of mention too, sometimes it's nice to leave lines on your chart and like trading view, because then you can come back to it and see, because then I've come back to this number a lot, and I've seen this number too, and it gets invalidated because things change, but then Thor comes back to it and says, hey, like this is it. Hey, I see it again. Cool. That it must be something pivotal, significant for that to be calling that so repeatedly after being invalidated. So that's cool, especially on the 1 day. And I typically don't see it, telling me, giving me direction. Jupe, it had one there, but it's so quick. And what happens is if I do see him on a pump, they're only live for like an hour, maybe, you know, like a couple, they're really quick, and sometimes you just can't catch them all. But
The best things are more the 4 hours and the 1 day calls.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the straight up answer.
You're trading is your smaller time frames. Your investing is your longer time frame. Now, obviously, there's differences, but that's how I treat them.
Exactly, and then it comes back to that render.
Like, bro, when I'm looking at my cock, if I'm trying to, like, you know, time a relative top to take some profit, I'm watching the 15-minute fucking chart.
Yeah.
I'm not watching the 1 hour or the 4 hour.
No. And, you know, that's kind of like the 1 hour thing. So it's I think my perspective has changed when I currently have a bag. Then sometimes I really love those like 1 hour 15 or one short calls. Those are really nice because I can start divvying out my bag there. But would I take this short call? I probably wouldn't take the short. I would just, you know, divvy up my bag a little bit there, which, you know, is kind of coincides with that. So you draw a line here without doing any TA. You could see, hey, it's got some resistance at the zone. It probably set a little high. Honestly, I would bump it a little lower too, just because I'm using drift. So I'd probably adjust my thing to just get down to that lower call. And then I still save my bag for more, but what I'm doing here right now with, 0.8, so I'm almost filled the wallet with the render at 11.24. I'm going to sell probably 25% there to catch, and then I'll probably refill with that 25% at like TP2 or wherever it looks like. You know, when you draw lines, you can kind of see where things will kind of hit, and it looks like it's just going to bounce off all these little pikes here, so it's like, oh, like 1160 looks good too. So that's in between 1 and 2. So I don't know. I kind of use those as reference. You know, you get your range finding, and then you kind of see on the chart too, without doing TA, you're just looking where it looks like a line is being held up by a bunch of activity. And if you have that, and you go, oh yeah, it's kind of right through here, got some through here, and you know, it looks like a good point that it could bounce back off of. But I'm not too concerned, because what happens is if I hold the bag up and down, you could get 5 or 6% more off of the 25% you sold. So then if I buy back there to continue my bullish case up here, then that's really cool. Then you could just keep building that bag as it goes up, because it's not just up. Usually it's doing a bunch of crazy stuff. So I think for me, when I like the lower time frames when I'm been building my bag, or I have a bag already going, I hit a 4 hour long or something, or even a 1 hour, I'll probably put like 25% in each time I see like a 1 hour. I don't know, I just try to find different things and see that a 1 hour long could hit, but like what happened with me, this hit at like 11:34, cool, but it fell through the line and then it hit another call down here. So what I did, I just bought more down here too, but it didn't hit where I really wanted it, because, well, drift is drifting. But yeah, that's kind of my thing with the 1 hours. They're cool and they're nice, but I don't go all in on them as much as all. Oh, that's a cool one too, actually. And seeing the invalid on this 1 hour call is like 262, and just drawing these, that's why I like drawing the invalid lines, so I could kind of see probably a low bouncing zone. So I've seen like invalidation zones be a really hard resistance or support for moreover for like those 1 day and 4 hours. But I have seen that be almost like on a short call, that might be, if it's holding, if it's bouncing off of that, maybe that's a nice support it bounced off of. So that's I think the invalidation line is, again, something that's looked over a lot, and it's good to draw on your chart just to have that line there. But after a certain amount of lines, without even doing TA, you're just sitting what Thor had given you, and over time it's just leaving lines up too that are relevant. it's like you did some really badass TA or some Fibonacci line with you didn't even do it. You just did some spark notes.
Dregz, I do have like this is kind of like just a generic, basic question, but just for your, like when you're looking at, obvious, when you put in like, you're looking at Kira, put in 1,000, it's going to have an impact, the price impact percentage. Could you just like generically explain price impact and or slippage?
Yeah. Okay, so how did maybe the decks get a good visual. Let's let that load. Yeah. So slippage generally means that if you put in 1,000, there's market orders, and then we kind of talked about how there was those liquidity pools and doing pools. Each one probably has a different way, under the hood, kind of actions that are going on and how they separate all of that. I wish this Dex would open up, but essentially, there we go. All right. So you can see on this, like the order book, it's a good little place, and this is probably where people have manually done it. We're not seeing what the like the pools are doing or anything. This is just with people have manually entered in and as where they want to sell Kira and then where they want to buy it. So as it stood, and let's take out any other liquidity. Just looking at this Dex here, you could see that the next area, if there were no pools, the only way you could buy Kira would be at 0.017, and then if you wanted to sell it, the only way the amount you'd get is the nearest buy, and someone's offering to buy 6,000 or 7,000 at 0.007. So obviously that's a huge gap of slippage there, meaning that the price it is will change drastically between them. So
it's like you're coming and you're just like buying the chunks that are for sale, and depending on the next chunk up in price, it could jump depending on what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the slippage in this case would be every 500 Kira that I buy, it will slip up to the next price, and it'll do that. If you spent like $1,000, you just cleared up all of that all the way up to like you slipped up. And so now you might not be getting the best price, but with the pools and that liquidity, it's fitting a bunch of orders between these pricings. And sometimes you could see what would be a good example. Someone bought, okay, who's buying? Let's see. Basically, you'll see it be sold in chunks if someone's trying to sell a bunch. Oh, let's see. Okay, I think this is the same. Yeah, same guy here. Let's see. Okay. So you can see that when he pressed the button, he sold like 150, let's say 150, 160, whatever. He sold that, but it had to be chunked up a little bit. Maybe he had one sell here, but then he went to sell, say, that 100 or 110 worth of Kira. He sold 10,000 Kira, and half of it was sold into this pool, the 4% pool, and then this one was sold into the 1%. And so this one was able, like, why was it the 4% if that's available? Well, currently this pool is sitting at a different pricing than this one. So because this has a lot of liquidity, it's probably bought and purchased more at a lower rate. So then it could say, hey, yeah, we're cool with selling it here at this price, but only this amount. And then the aggregate data finds the next best thing, which is the Orca pool, selling it for this price. And so they kind of combine together, but that was his slippage there, was just slipping up a bit. And that's why the pools are nice, but that's why liquidity is nice, and that's pretty much what's happening. A good idea to put that into bigger terms of why Thordnals haven't landed or opened up for the public just yet is just because that's the kind of slippage that would happen. And I think Sile even made a mention of it too, but damn, where is it? The Jupiter. So if you, what is this? It's BTC, and then an average trade on Sol is like, $10,000. Is what I've seen the pool or the trades going at right now. That's pretty tight, but when you get into larger zones, you can see actually it's not too bad. It's looking pretty good, but what would happen is you see like the value Sol is like 10,417. It's supposed to get you 10,458. That looks pretty good there too. Hey, that's not bad, but
oh shit.
Right, but definitely some slippage I think ends up happening, and kind of what we mentioned there before in like larger terms, it ends up making it so when Thor would do a buy, we wouldn't get it at the price the market is hitting it at. If we buy too much, you'll pump the pool, but at the same time, people could dump the pool too, which you don't want to be at the whim of other people. You just want it to be what the market is doing, not what a couple whales want to do. That's kind of like the liquidity.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I appreciate
crisis.
it. Yeah, because like as buying things with low liquidity, you can see it's just like if you wanted to put $100 in, it's just better to do like $5 chunks if it's gonna send the price up.
That's generally what the idea is, and that's what brings you back to the shit coins again too. Is because it has so little. If someone comes in and just slips up, it's really easy to do that. Especially with those.
So that's where you see those big ass screen candles and those things. Is someone just comes in and buys, And
then you got someone though like this 81,000. If someone sits there and dumps $10,000 worth, that's like 1/8 of the whole market cap. So, you're gonna see a fat.
The swings.
Yeah, exactly. If I sold.
So that's why like someone couldn't just. Well, I guess you could, but you come in, you buy like a fucking $1 million, send it and sell it. You just get wrecked.
Exactly. Like you would drop if you did that, you wouldn't even get the amount, but it would be like you drop the whole thing.
That's like that dude with Dog with Hat. Did you see that initially?
Oh,
someone spent $8 $8 million spot on Dog with Hat, and it went from like 17 cents to like $4 and something in one candle.
Yeah,
and then in that same candle got sold back down to 17 cents.
Bro, that stuff is absolutely crazy.
That dude got insta fucking wrecked for like 5 million, and now he's up God knows how many millions from how far that thing is run.
Yeah, that's what it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I bet he would have gotten a better price if he had DCA'd.
1000% he would have made more.
Yeah, so that's one of those.
I mean, he instantly got wrecked at the time for over more than half of what you put in.
I mean, I don't want to discourage people from doing it, but totally. I'm all for it. If you want to do that to Kira, send it up. That was a great one when someone spent quite a bit there. Was it send it up to? We almost got to one whole 10 cents there. It was 0.09. Yeah,
that was wild. Yeah,
that was a great buy. Was this guy actually? Right there. Thanks, man.
The whale. Thank you.
Little whale. Yeah, we don't got too many whale on Kira, but we got one.
We got a lot of shrimpies.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah. Getting through here. Just trying to find. Yeah, so for me, I'm just still sticking on that render call. Maybe bite onto that ARB. Sadly, we're not seeing any juicy Jupiter, Sol, or BTC calls. But I am, if anything, probably leaning towards that bull side of things for Solana, compared to BTC at the moment. So that's going to be pretty rad once they hit. But once these zones, I think that's going to be a big thing to look at, is what Solana is going to be doing with BTC. Is once we see that
Solana to 200.
Yeah, I think that would make Solana 200 probably.
I mean, dude, Bitcoin's past all-time high. ETH was it 4,800 was all-time high. What's ETH at right now? I don't know.
ETH,
It was at like 4K last I checked.
Yeah, I thought that was a valid call at 1,000, but
imagine. But yeah, no, when that pushes up, Sol will push up, and they will hit all-time highs.
Yeah, no, that's pretty damn good, and I think Sol. Plus, you got the whole FTX little rumor stuff, the OTC sales that go on, and they're lagging behind. So if that is true, whatever, news is doing what it's doing. But I believe, I think Sol's has some catching up to do still.
Oh yeah,
it
sure. Does.
So that's exciting. So I'm here for it.
It's exciting, and I'm fucking sad.
I know. It's never enough.
My greedy ass.
Yeah, it's truly bittersweet.
Yeah,
it was so soon. I thought we were gonna get.
Thought I had more time. I thought we. Yes, exactly. Damn. Thought we get 70 or fucking 60. Thor was calling for 8.
It was there. Whatever. I guess that's fine. I'll take it. What's that? What's it doing? Sometimes, I haven't ever really done too many of the ETH BTC ones just because I'm not the most bullish. I mean, I don't focus my energy on ETH, so you can just pick and choose what I go after. But that 4.9 to 5.6, that'd be cool. But no, the ranges, and I love the motion and what Sol ends up doing more than the ETH BTC trades. Just because you're super bullish on those two, I just have to say that's just going to be some big fun right there.
So how many trades do you do, like, at one time, Dregz? Like, do you just stick with, like, 3, or if I have, like, fucking 50, it's hard to keep up? I started doing my trading journal, which helps me, but I can only do so many. I'm like, I can't keep up with all this.
Yeah, I'm probably pretty disorganized in some regard, but in that I don't have too many trades running. So I'll have different wallets kind of doing different things, and my journal would be the entry, like how much is this wallet doing, and if there's like the shitcoin things, you have 4 or 5, maybe running, but I've entered in with the same amount. Just trying different strategies. Just this one at the moment is just there. I'm just entering with different amounts. I have an amount that I put in there, principal, and I just make sure we're above that, and I'm trading when I check that wallet. Besides that, the actual real trades, the ones that we're really, putting some money towards, tends to be, let's see, I do have the Sol BTC, and that's been going on for quite some time. So a lot of the ones I have are longer term. If they're not satisfied within the week or maybe 3 days, I do a lot of scalping when I have time off. I like to get into that, but a lot of my trades, so I'll have maybe the render one going, the Sol BTC trade, and then I'll maybe have a Jupiter one going or something else. I kind of leave myself open for some big ones. A lot of times I just try to do 2 big trades at once, maybe 3, like a sideline one, like if I'm doing a big old, like doing heavy and render, I'll maybe bite onto ARB a little bit, and like in Pyth or Jupiter right now too. So it's like, they've been trading really fun. AVAX has been really fun too. Sometimes it's just me looking, and I just see this consistency of render and AVAX and even ARB always pop up with these 15-minute 1-hour calls so much. Sometimes it's just in the zone, and like Thor is just rattling off calls, and then that's probably when I start focusing more on that. Like, these ones are pretty fun because even that AVAX that's just getting, I think, it's relatively new on the 1 hour. Started that zone, and TP1 is like 8%. So like a 1 hour call that's doing something like that, and it looks reasonable too where it's at. It goes bounce up, and then it hopefully bounces down and just goes up again. And I'd go to, you could even front run it a little bit too down there if you wanted, but hell, it's just those little quick ones that I like to jump into. And usually something trade like this, probably, I mean, if it doesn't dump and it goes as it should because they're on lower time frames, and they're close, they should be done in a day to 3 days. So I'm not really holding on to them too long. Besides this render one, it's only 2 days old, a couple days old now, I think. And whereas the Sol BTC trade, that's been open for, and I've been added to it at certain levels for like a month or so. And it's the spot bags too. If I'm just accumulating like Pyth and Jupe, then I'm trading. It's differently, just throwing it in the bag. And then Bonk actually is how I do this one. I have that trade running, and I only strike when it seems to have. I know you mentioned last week when a lot of calls scare you, and for Bonk it kind of does for me too, like taking a trade. But I have
Nah, bro, for real, bonk, and sheep in particular for me when it comes to those numerous calls, I'm just like, hold up,
yeah,
because they're so volatile.
it is. But you know, when you look at that, like they got a bunch of these 12s and lower ones. I'm always, you know, open to that, but not too worried. In this case, I've purchased. I have my bag of Bonk, and since it is kind of a meme coin, still, you know, it is volatile, could do anything, but I'm not afraid to like throw 50% or 100% of my bag. I'll throw 100% of my bag and sell that there and buy it. What is that? Back at 4.4 or 3.3, you make so much.
You got that bonk staked, my boy?
No. I'm on the naughty list. They never really liked me at the bonk.
Fuck them. I'm getting free money.
Never giving me shit. Maybe I faded it a long time ago, but that's all right. So for me, whatever, staking, cool. I'm glad you guys are staking, and it sounds like a fun time. But if
I just put a portion in, so that way you can play both ways, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm just being cynical.
Yeah.
Being, you know, you could do that. You could, you know, rotate your bag into, what's that? You get 20, if this call hit, and you bought back at like TP1, you'll get 18% more of that bag. You'll get 18% more bonk to hold on to. And I'm selling with the intention of buying it back because I believe in it, but I just don't want to buy more bonk.
For sure.
I'm just a cheap guy sometimes.
You're using your money to get more of the token.
Exactly, and that's a big main thing that I do with my coins. It's just like
I do that with my shit coins, bro.
Yeah, and then that one was that if it goes down, like what was that 40 TP1 39. Like yeah, if we just did that, it'd be 36% more. If it really just wicked down, it would. Yeah, no, that's great. So I would probably jump back in there. If it hit there, I'd go probably to that zone or something. But it's just pretty crazy, you know, when you look at it that way. And if it does keep pumping and you miss it, hey, it's life, man. Wouldn't be the first time I faded a moon bag, but you know, it's nice to just be able to do that. Plus, I like to trade a lot too, and when I trade like that, I'm not throwing in more capital from like my bank account and stuff. I like to have a certain amount and make that amount grow and just compound it, and that's my goal. And you know, I'll throw more in, you know, I'll throw more liquidity in too as things go on, but it's kind of my mission to say, how can I make this money into more? And so that keeps me from being really risk adverse, though I don't get those crazy leveraged wins too. So I'm like I said, I'm always a 2%, 10% guy. So I'm really excited when even this render play goes off. Like, oh, I'm up 5%.
What percent is that?
This would be.
Oh, that render plays 5.
Yeah, so far it's up like 5, and that's awesome. But I'm pretty bullish in this, so
yeah, that's dope.
I'll take the 10, right? So that's cool. Like that's little things like that. But if I could do that every 3 days, you're making 10%. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then even on my like drift bag, I'll take some of that out. I always like to take. I have a goal to get to, and then I'll take that cash out, and then we'll reinsert that into a new coin that maybe I want to make a bag, like a spot bag on, because I'll just have my leverage wallet in drift, and then it do its thing, and then whereas I'll spot buy in other places and just throw it on the ledger, or do the other trades that I was talking about. Oh, I'll throw 50 in a Pyth and just hit those short calls and buy back at the TPs. It adds fun to me because before I get a little trading addictive, I could see myself just always throwing myself into trades just to be into a trade, just to feel something.
It's the dopamine, man. It actually is. Seriously, it's dopamine chasing for sure. And you need to, I get that way too.
Yeah, it's good for us to be self-aware of that too. But to feed that, this is kind of the stuff I do. Sometimes it doesn't make sense all the time, but it feeds that.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Because not to interrupt, but like I ended up making like 2 accounts, right? A professional one where I'm not fucking around. There's no bullshit like trying to John Wick whatever. And then it's just following the rules and using proper risk management and just making that bag grow. My other account is solely for I've been, if I take like a big call or something like that, I'll like, instead of me trying to scalp on that main account where I took the big call at, I'll like scalp at it on the other account that I have, and I'll use like leverage on that account. Nothing like crazy, but like I'll take more risk on that one to feed, exactly. But to go on with what you were saying, I feel you.
Yeah, no, that's something I just gotta. So you just gotta do it, man. We all like to play, we all like to feel good. So I mean, I think that just gotta find a way.
Was it Veloci's thing that he said, like, if it was back when I wanted to feel something and bought internet pictures, it was like, oh, if you want to just mint something, just go DJ coin flip it instead. You have better odds of winning. Aha.
Yeah, damn right. Yeah, I think
which is the fucking truth, bro. That's sad, but it's the fucking truth.
Dude, that is. I mean, you have a better chance of winning the flip than you do with a lot of the shit coins and NFTs. But I think we saw a little slowdown in the minting off NFTs. I think people caught on to the the extraction of liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, they're just like now, because now you're in a space where you're gaining steam again, but the people who are left were the people that believed in Sol, and they weren't gonna fall for the fucking shit anymore. Not like they were. And the people that did left when Sol dropped below 100 or below 50.
The people that did are now making shit coins. Or making NFTs that you could reimburse with shitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing that now too. Yeah, that's wild.
It's the next thing. Yeah, because I mean, shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you all know, like if you make a coin, you give some influencers some of it, they'll shout it out, and enough people will get in on a pump. So you got your followers there, and then you got your other people who got wrecked on, but they're not loud enough voices. I mean, they complain. It like goes far as a tweet online, like, "Oh, this guy's an asshole."
There's always a buyer and always a seller. Yeah,
And the guy's
so
walking away.
Don't be the fucking buyer at the top.
Yeah, bro's walking away with $100K, and he doesn't give a shit about like a
tweet. He doesn't.
Like, oh no. Yeah, so I just don't be that guy. Yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah, that's if you learn.
If I'm ever fortunate to have any type of community, I will never be fucking shilling anything that I don't fucking have or talk about, and that will be a full disclosed. Like that is, I mean, that's Web 2. Yeah, it's and not just Web 2, but it's humans and.
Yep, exactly.
You just got to know who your friends are. If you're seeing something circulate on Twitter, you probably fucking missed it. Don't buy it.
Damn right, yeah. And, Yeah, that's a big thing, and like I said, it's the psychology of it, and you have to always remember that unless it's a cabal or something, which really only takes, like we're talking about, that really is powerful when they own most of the supply, or if the market cap is super low or something, then yeah, they can control it. But that's why I like the larger market cap things. It's a little more difficult. But with those, you have that psychology of people looking at a chart and feeling a certain way. And that's why it's always good to just monitor how you're feeling at the moment. And if I do have a trading journal, one of the things, let's be all feely about it, but yeah, if you're doing a trade and something happens, it's good to say like what you were feeling at that time, because my best indicator is feeling that same emotion or confusion or just that emotion that I felt once before. And what happened last time, I felt that I looked at this pattern and I felt this way, or I see it doing something, and being able to just take that second and remembering that feeling and what happened. Because if you're looking, everyone's looking at, the RSI is topping off, and the MACD is going for an inversal, like a inverse action there.
Inverse 180 heel flip,
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Well, if everyone's thinking that, sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Sometimes those really close indicators are sometimes like where if I'm feeling a certain way, yeah, it's when you kind of leverage up or leave it.
Dude, it's this weird like line when you hear enough people start talking about it. You're like, I'm gonna start swimming left. Everybody's going right. I'm fucking going left.
Hey, Rumpty. Hey, what you know about them tech decks?
Oh, I know about them tech decks.
Nice.
Yeah, no, but what you said was I think very key, and I'll definitely start doing it more. Is with the trading journal, it's not just writing the numbers down. It's more than that. If that's where you need to start, then start there. Just writing the numbers, you'll see your improvement or where you fucked up, and you can just look at it and see it for what it is. But what you said is writing down emotion, how you felt, maybe even a snapshot of the chart and why you felt that way. And if you look back, you'll start to see the patterns, like you said. And
other people were feeling too is a big one. Like not just yourself, but what was what was Twitter doing? Was that? But sometimes it is that we're at a weird point, and I think we talked about this before too, where you got the Web 2, the normies or the casual coming back in and seeing these talking about it again. So they're talking about Bitcoin, they're talking about Dogecoin, they're crypto coin, the things they remember from last time things were going off. So it is also a little different. It's like the same thing but a little different, because we're at the same pricing or a little higher, but the whole sentiment's different. We're not in COVID no more. Everyone's not just sitting at home trading all day, getting a stimulus check or whatnot or something like that. Just has just that
very different macro.
Wait, they're not?
You see, that's what's wild. You just said that too. Like we were in that 0% interest. Money was flying around everywhere, and Bitcoin hit all-time highs. It's hitting all-time highs now with 5% interest rate, where money is way more expensive. And so when they have to lower that interest rate, and it's the election year, and it's the fucking halving, and it's a bunch of fucking micro macro cycles all meeting.
Yep.
Like this is going to be with the level of adoption that crypto has now got, like the on-ramps, the legal massive on-ramps of the ETFs for Bitcoin can send it to heights that we don't know. We don't understand where this can go. It's a world asset, and then that goes like that, bro. You want to be prepared, learning all of these things that we're talking about in here, and you could capitalize so hard.
That's damn right.
It's gonna be awesome. I appreciate you, Dregz.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, at least stop recording here, but I think we're definitely down to chat a little more relaxed.
Shit, you were recording that whole time with our